Hello and welcome back for our next episode of Aliit by Beskar. I am excited for this one because we're going to a really cool planet in this particular session that should have a lot of fun things on it. Before we jump into that, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and their characters, talk about sponsors, and one other thing real quick, and then we'll jump in. So starting off with sponsors, let me get those into chat. They are Fundamental RPG, which is a simple D20 system. It's not tied to any genre, so you can pick it up and use it to tell any story that you would like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. You can pick up physical copies of that at Amazon, or if you prefer digital versions, you can get the PDF at coffee.com/Raven, like it says at the bottom of the screen. And then until the end of the month, the PDF is on sale for half off. So you can actually pick that up for less than $10. Also at coffee.com/Raven is Intrepid Gear, which is adventuring gear for real life. It's a bunch of products with a tabletop theme to them, things like water bottles and apparel and other cool stuff like that. And so you can check that out as well. And then Die Hard Dice, which they make some of just the most incredible polymer and metal dice and dice accessories and various dice adjacent things. If you go to their website, dieharddice.com, and use the code BLACKFEATHER, all one word, capital B, you can get 10% off of your entire order. I highly recommend checking out the Fey Bloom set right now. It is really cool. This is like purple color with a gradient into a blue. It looks really neat. There's a link straight to that set in chat as well. And then if you want to catch up on this show or others on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. And then the other thing I wanted to quickly mention is the Animus lore and roleplay server that's relatively new. If you enjoy the show Animus Absentus that we have on Saturday nights, there is a Discord server just for the lore of that galaxy and all the different characters and stuff like that. That's like half of the server. And then the other half is for role-playing. So you can hop in and make your own character and interact with other people in the community as these different characters. And right now we're doing a really cool roleplay event where some big things are going to be happening in the solar system, specifically around Mars. So if that sounds like something that you would enjoy, it's free. You can follow the link in chat and join the server, make a character, and just go have fun. Yeah, that is everything from me. So we're going to go introduce our players and characters. Starting with the top left, V, tell us a little bit about Anaka and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am an artist. I work primarily in watercolor and pencil sketch as well as digital art. And if you'd like to take a look at any of my work, you can certainly do so. I have an art Twitter, which is at PepperoDraws, and that's Peppero like the candy. And I play Anaka. She is a dark force using Togruta with a mysterious background that she doesn't really talk about or let anybody really ask any questions on the subject, in all honesty. She's a bit of an enigma right now, and I would say she's kind of coming into her personality a little bit better. She's lightening up a little bit and have a little bit more fun. So that's been really fun to see. Yeah, it's me and Anaka.
Awesome. We hopefully will have Nikki joining us here in a bit. She had a power outage that also knocked internet out for a while, but we're hoping that'll get fixed in time for her to join us. She plays Ilsa, who's a really cool character. But yeah, go check her out on Twitter at NickCool. Next, we'll hop over to Matt. Tell us a little bit about Jai and yourself.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a content creator of various stripes. I have a custom lightsaber shop launching tomorrow. That might be relevant to people watching this stream. And I play Jai Soren, who is our sweet summer boy who is growing up and hates it. Hates it a lot.
Yeah. Next, we've got Par. Tell us a little bit about Graykus and yourself.
Hi, I am Par. If you've forgotten over the last few weeks, I don't blame you at all, because this is my face. That's how my face looks. saw it at the beginning of the season, then you didn't see it for a while, and now it's back. And hopefully it'll stay. But I played Grakus, the Ewok, the Sith Ewok, our little secret, that comes from the planet Endor, an exile, sort of an outcast, just sort of cast out by his people to roam the floor of Endor, which is very, very treacherous. And it made him very, very mad until he met his master. And his master put Grakus on a new path, and that path eventually led to this group.
Awesome. And then that just leaves me. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things that I do, most of which are tabletop related or adjacent. My link tree's in chat, or if you're watching this on the Fantasy Network later and can't see chat, it is linktr.ee/theraven, just like my Twitter handle, which is below my face on the screen. And then, yeah, I play everybody else in the galaxy. Notably, Kieran Lal, who's on the ship, who is a former Jedi, who's trying to figure out what exactly that former part means in terms of former Jedi. And then, yeah, I play all the various baddies and everything else in the galaxy as well. So with all that out of the way, we'll jump into our story. So last session that we had was a bit of wrap up of getting the Venator's class Star Destroyer. It's a obviously refurbished given where we are in the timeline, which is shortly after Return of the Jedi in the greater Star Wars timeline. So it's a refurbished Venator class Star Destroyer. It had everything pretty much except for weapons and extra ships and things like that. So there were no TIE fighters really on it, no turbo lasers, nothing like that. So in an effort to get those, we are heading to Braca to try and salvage some of those. Braca is the site of a massive sort of ship graveyard or junkyard with lots of Venator and other Clone War era ships sort of scattered around. It's also site to the, I believe it's called the Scrappers Guild, which is a faction that you might have to contend with or deal with, depending on how you want to do this. But I know you all had taken your own ship out there, and it's sort of on the way to a couple other objectives, but this is where you're stopping first. I think we already covered everything on the way to the planet, but if there is anything else that you want to add, feel free to sort of throw that in now. And if not,
I think we just had like a big family meeting, if I remember right.
Yeah, I believe so. Kind of trying to figure out where to go with everything, I believe is kind of where we were with it. And we ended up on Braca, I believe, is where we wanted to go first.
We did Braca strictly because it was closest.
Yeah. It's a mid-rim planet, and it's near a bunch of hyperspace routes. All right. Well, if there's nothing that you want to do else you want to do in transit, then I will have you all essentially in orbit around the planet. Come out of light speed, and there's ships around the planet. Nothing terribly dangerous looking. A bunch of freighters, big and small. A couple of patrol craft that look like they belong to the Scrappers Guild. But nothing that would be alarming. And so you can kind of choose how you want to approach the planet. If you want to try to sneak in, if you want to deal with the Scrappers Guild. I think everyone here would know that they work worked for the Empire. Their stance on that is a little less clear at the moment, with the Empire being, in pieces. But that is something to consider. Or you can, try to blast your way in. That is an option. Not the option I would necessarily recommend, but it is an option. Or any other solutions that you all can think of.
Used to work for the Empire, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least, I guess, with them.
Yeah, they basically broke down these old ships and things and then sold the parts to the Empire.
Intriguing. Drakus thinks it might be useful to make some allies with this Scrappers Guild.
That probably wouldn't hurt. We're probably gonna need a lot of pieces.
No need to cause a stink when we can just talk it through.
If I had to guess, we're going to be causing enough trouble with the next two errands. The one with the spooky magic people. So maybe we'll just be real nice with this. Maybe just take it chill.
Absolutely. Did you still want to leave that murder plant here?
Oh my god, yes. That off my boat. I had forgotten about the murder plant. The things I hate it.
Wait a minute. Drakus sees a different opportunity here. What if we take a small shuttle down and mysteriously leave the murder plant? Give it a day, come back. They haven't killed it, then we have the perfect sort of reason to be there and offer help.
I wonder if it could survive re-entry.
Drakus enjoys 4D chess.
So could we just point a hatch at the planet and then eject it?
Gee, I don't know.
I mean, we could do that. I don't know if that would get the plant to the planet safely.
I believe your ship does have a couple of escape pods.
Yeah, but those are expensive.
I was going to say, do we want to use one for this purpose of this plan? Well,
Look,
actually, Drakus would use it happily.
Eventually, I'm sure Raven's going to force us to have to use the escape pods because we're going to make enough stupid names for this ship.
What?
They're no longer tenable.
That sounds like my least favorite thing to do.
We could set it up for, well, that could lead to more angst, Why did we use that one escape pod? Way back when.
What if we use the plant as a bargaining chip?
Drakus doesn't see how this could be a bargaining chip.
We have this plant. You just put it in the ground near the dangerous stuff that you're not ever gonna sell, and you leave it there instead of a security force. It totally won't get out of control and try to take over the whole planet.
Drakus thinks that maybe not with that plan. Better to leave it unknown, as an unexpected hazard rather than it's just going to grow and grow and grow anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my other question. We don't have another shuttle. We have a TIE Defender and an A-Wing.
I thought you had two TIE Defenders still.
Drakus.
One went down an indoor, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I know Mukso took one, but the other
So
one,
the-
I forgot Zadu went down with the other one. That's right. It's just the one.
Oh. Grakus thinks that another stealth ship would be a worthwhile investment.
oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. Wait, we have stealth paint. Didn't we do stealth paint on a thing? What did we do?
On the A-wing, I believe.
We can't put that whole plant in there with a pilot. There won't be a pilot at the end of that trip.
True.
If I'm not mistaken, A-wings have a spot for a droid, don't they?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know.
I will look it up real quick. Just continue to talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, so you're trying to get me to get rid of Captain. You're trying to get me to get rid of Captain Raj.
I am not trying to make you get rid of anyone. I'm just saying.
Imagine.
Sometimes we have to
Time
make
for that upgrade.
sacrifices.
I would never suggest such a thing. I'm
you-
merely stating facts.
Time for that upgrade, Roger. You get a whole starfighter. Your first mission: fly a death plant down to a planet. Hope you come home.
All Raven is saying is that if you really love Captain Roger, you gotta let him go.
Sometimes we have to take one for the team. It's fun.
Hey, so that's your A-wing we're talking about.
That is true. That is
Mm.
also a sacrifice for Monaco.
I don't know.
That's true.
Grakus thinks he can ask the plant if it wants to eat a robot.
We could always chop it into tiny pieces and propagate it on the planet.
Ooh.
Grakus did that previously, and well, now there are two plants.
Yeah, but you're keeping tight rein on your special plant pet, right?
Oh yes,
Mm,
Grakus has special plans for that one.
sure. Okay. I think I love this idea. I love this whole like, oh no, look out, danger plan. It's good. It's a good one. Why don't for this trip we make friends with the scavenger guild or whatever, the scrapper guild. We land somewhere out of sight, get this plant off our boat, and then when we need to come back for more parts later, we can deal with this unknown plant menace that arose, and then they'll be even more indebted to us. We can do both, is what I'm saying.
Mm.
I just don't know how we can get it down to the planet right now otherwise.
Grakus enjoys this idea. How good are you at first impressions?
Judge just goes, not it. Which is really funny because he has his helmet on.
Grakus just follows suit.
Kieran does as well.
Oh, good. We're leaving this in the hands of Anaka and Ilsa. Perfect.
Everybody just looks at Anaka.
She just shrugs, like, all right.
Perfect. This plan will go off without a hitch.
All right. Well then, all you have to do really is just start moving towards the planet, and that Scrappers Guild fighter patrol will, come interact with you essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, assuming you do so, okay. Yeah, you get a hail asking you. This is Scrappers Guild, patrol, whatever letter number. What's your business here?
I just looks at Anaka. Just like,
Okay, so before I make a total ass of myself here, because Anaka's not the actress of the group. Can you give me the 5-word explanation on what we just decided on?
oh, we just want All we're telling them is we just want to land and look for some old Venator parts. We're interested in purchasing some old Venator parts.
Okay, it was a Venator. All right. Yeah. So when they're hailed by the other guys, Anaka looks at everybody else. She just shrugs again, and takes the rein on this one. She says, "Hi. We were just looking to bring in our ship to purchase some old Venator parts. I was wondering if you had any of those."
There's a pause, and if anybody would like to look into the cockpit of one of these patrol ships, you are welcome to try to do so. They're close enough that you could potentially see inside.
Sure.
Oh, I'm down. As long as the only thing they see back is just a pair of yellow eyes.
Of course. Probably just like, do they have a Jawa on board over there? But yeah, it's a perception roll if you want to try to see in there. But there is a notable pause before they come back, and they just sort of respond with, "What business do you have with Venator parts? That's a really odd, specific kind of thing that you're looking for."
I just picture Grakus being too tiny to see anything over the window when he's looking at it. Oh, I love that.
Spider-Man the way up the wall.
Yeah. Anaka looks to the rest of them. This is your rodeo. I'm just the mouthpiece. What do you want me to say?
Do you want me to do this?
Are Venators that rare? Sorry,
At this point, yeah. They're just really old and nobody uses them anymore.
Oh,
for the most part.
What's the problem then? What's so sketchy about one Venator part?
Yeah.
Is there a capital class warship?
Yeah. They're like, well, the Empire didn't order this, so
Oh,
what do you want with them?
There's good odds that we have our Imperial transponder on right now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It all comes together.
I'll give you that one.
So we are the Imperial du say.
Okay.
That name.
I'm horrible at the democracy aspect of this shenanigans, so maybe Anaka wasn't the best one to go with. I'm sure she would be smarter than I am, but
Just bullshit them about we're trying to set up we're working to set up an enclave for Imperials who are fleeing the New Republic. And we need some turbo laser batteries and some other environmental parts to something asteroid field.
and I was like, something asteroid field. What?
I don't know. There's not air on those usually, sort of.
There's sort of a crackle on the comms as they chime in again. It's like, sorry, if you transmitted a response, we didn't receive it. Could you repeat that?
Hold on.
You want me to do this?
As far as we know, the Imperials, or at least the Imperial fleet, is over Endor, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them is.
So maybe we lie our ass off here and say that we were sent as part of that fleet to get spare parts.
I mean, we do know they were rearming a Venator for that fleet. We stole it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, so we're basically doing it.
We're doing the thing the Empire wanted to do, so what is it going to lie?
Well, there's the plan right there.
Okay, so is that what we're going with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anaka goes back to the comms and she says, sorry, this old communications doesn't quite work the way it used to, but no, to answer your question, we are here on behalf of, what's the best way to put it?
We know that Admiral's name. What was his name?
Grand Admiral Thaddeus Fell.
Thaddeus Fell. I know I have that stuff written down in my notebook somewhere, but I'll be damned if I could find it. She says we're here on behalf of Grand Admiral Thaddeus Fell, looking for parts to reinstate an old Venator under his command.
All right, I'm going to need a deception roll, and since we don't have Nikki here to help out with Ilsa, I'm just gonna say roll that with advantage, because Ilsa's really good at faking Imperial stuff. So I'm gonna say Ilsa's helping you, so roll deception with advantage.
Deception, all right.
So, 23, okay. There is, they listen to your response, and then anybody that wants to look into the cockpit is able to try to do so again if you would like.
Oh yeah, I got a 17 on that. I'm rolling dice.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you saw, it looks like the two are sort of talking to each other when there's these pauses. You can see them like making hand motions to each other because they're flying in close formation. So that happens again, but it's shorter this time, and they come back and say, "Okay, yeah, that's pretty common. Just need to call this in, protocol, and then we'll escort you down."
Jai dives for the computer terminal to try to like hack into their transmission and pick it up and try to be the other end of the call.
Called it to who? Do we know they're calling the Imperials or?
No clue.
You are welcome to try with use computer.
Oh, come on. Oh, I got a 21.
21. You're not fast enough to get in there, but you're able to see what's happening as it's happening. So not able to change anything, but you can see what they're saying, and they just call into the office on the planet.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, there's this freighter. They said they're from Fell. They want to pick up some Venator parts. Do we have anything on the books for that? And the response they get is, yes, we do. We're expecting a freighter. Actually, they're a little bit early. Was expecting them later today. So, yeah, go ahead and send them down.
Yeah, thick.
It's just going to make it a little harder to maintain relations here.
Judge just like turns around in the chair and looks at everybody in the bridge and just goes, on the plus side, we're going to get to land. On the downside, we're probably going to have to fight our way out.
Hold on. We don't know. Oh my God. What? Grakus, we don't know when this other freighter's coming, so if we do our deception well enough, they will think they are imposters coming to
They'll shoot them out of the sky.
steal. Yes. Our identities.
Maybe they'll have that damn accent on it. That'd be fun.
Something makes me think you want something a little more personal than somebody else shooting it out of the sky.
I would like to shoot a proton torpedo into a stupid, smug, pretty face. Yes.
Oddly specific.
Knock also looks at that like,
Jai just looks at him like, "Look, you know it. He's stupid and smug."
Right.
You do get a response back that says, yep, looks like you're all cleared to go. Do you need assistance with pulling those parts, or did you want to pull them yourselves?
Ooh.
I mean, what's the harm?
Yeah. Let's get help.
So, hey, it can be faster.
Yes.
If that other
That is
freighter
true.
does show up.
And this means that we can all be doing our little side task, like getting a freaking man-eating plant off my boat, and I can go find schematics on the dead Venator.
For the Jedi training room.
Specifically that, but I do just kind of want to have like the full plans for further improvements and upgrade.
Then
So yes, I guess.
Okay. Then in that case, they give you coordinates to land and say that they will escort you to that spot. And they do note that it will cost more for labor. So they're like, yeah, no problem. We'll put it on your account.
Yeah, Anaka scoffs and she's like, well, of course it's going to cost more. Like, we're aware of that.
Price we pay.
Just like, okay, I'm gonna go move some spaceships around in our hull, so we in our cargo zone, so that we have room for everything. 1 second.
You're gonna move the cars around the driveway.
Kinda, yeah.
All right.
Like, bolt the A-wing to the roof right now. Just like shove the Defender in the back. It's fine. Just throw some tarps over it.
It's like when your friend is going to jump in the back seat of your car or in the front seat of your car and you just start like chucking the fast food stuff in the back.
Exactly. Yes.
I think, okay, then I think Gracchus's job is to settle the plant. And also settle the smaller plant, which I need to name.
No, don't like that. No, don't like that.
Yeah.
Everything needs a name.
Death plant
Does
seems
it though?
Great. Ooh, Death Blossom.
Oh, that is a good name. That is a really good name.
There you go. My little personal plant is Death Blossom.
I'm assuming Kieran is piloting right now, and she's able to fly down with these fighters, and it's sort of what's the best way to describe this? It's kind of like a clearing. So there's just hard packed dirt in this big clearing, maybe some pebbles and things like that, gravel type situation, where you're able to land the ship, and the two fighters don't really land, but they do fly down with you, sort of make sure that you land where you're supposed to, and then they start taking off, and they calm back and let you know that there will be a crew arriving by skiff shortly. They're probably 5 or 10 minutes out, and they say you're welcome to look around and pick out which ships you want to claim, so to speak, but just be careful. The yards are dangerous, and there are wild animals and things. Like they comment, they're like, they usually don't really mess with people. They don't like loud noises usually, but we kind of have to warn you, or just in case something does happen. You know how it is.
For sure. So presumably we can leave Kieran and Ilsa here to kind of supervise the loading and unloading, the loading process. Mm-hmm. Anaka, do you want to go with me for tech scavenging, or do you want to go with Gracchus for Death Blossom shenanigans?
As fun as a giant plant sounds, especially one that could probably eat us, I think I'm going to pass on that.
More fun for me.
Boy, the one person who, out of character, should definitely not be having like a whole planet-consuming death plant at his beck and call is the one who gets to go play nice with it. This is fine. This is
It's
great.
going to be more interesting that way.
You're right. We're planting some narrative seeds to them.
Ooh, I had a devil of an idea just now. Okay.
Oh, I hate that. That's
Uh-oh.
great.
No, that's for other stuff.
I'm just waiting for you to like feed your master to this death blossom. That's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right. So, Anaka, are you coming with me then, or are you hanging at the ship?
Yeah, let's send Anaka with Jai.
Neat. I think Jai's like just like when the crew gets there, just gets to like randomly point to a Venator and be like, "That one's probably got good guns. Give me those guns." And then Jai's gonna walk to a different Venator.
All right. So you wait for them to get there then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they don't really ask too many questions. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll start working on that, and it's going to take us a while. So, as you're walking away, yep, you're welcome to look around for any other parts that you'd like.
Thanks. Oh, Admiral Fell said spare no expense on getting this done in a timely fashion. He look. I know y'all have like your labor rules, and y'all have your margins you got to keep. Look, just triple overtime. He's fine with paying that. If you can just get these real quick, we'd love to be out of here before like early afternoon.
Oh my god, I do need a deception roll for that. But it's like, it's not going to be a catastrophic, like, horrible thing if you fail.
Well, thankfully I got a 15.
Okay, yeah. They're a little uncertain if, like, Admiral Fell himself really said triple overtime was okay, but they're like, yeah, we get it, rush job. And they really don't mind billing that anyways. So it's like, it's gonna happen, they just didn't quite believe everything you said. But you still accomplished what you wanted to accomplish.
Fair enough.
I imagine they look at Jai and just think that he's so full of hot air. Like,
Yeah.
he's more self-important. Like,
They would not be incorrect.
But yeah, it's sort of a like, oh, right, you talk to Admiral Fell, sure. But they're like, but we're still gonna bill him.
Look, I may not talk to Admiral Fell, but I routinely talk for Admiral Fell.
That is also kind of true.
It's I
All
make
right.
most of the fights happen.
All right, then let's have you head towards the other Venator. Gracchus and Anaka, are you going with Jai, or were you doing the plant thing right now?
I'm on plant duty.
Gracchus is doing the plan. I think Anaka was coming with me.
yeah.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I had a message pop up right as you were talking, and my brain was like short-circuited.
Anaka is going with Jai, I think, to do the Venator schematics thing, and Gracchus is handling plant duty.
Okay. All right, then for Jai and Anaka, I need perception rolls, and then we'll hop over to Gracchus right after that.
Does my force perception work in this situation?
It would.
Okay, I got a 12.
12? That,
27.
For Jai, that's a Venator. And there's a door to get in.
This is good. I heard my good rolls getting us here.
Anaka with 27, there is life all around you. you're not sure what exactly is in there. Just because it's quite varied, but it's not like humanoid, at least. But there's definitely wildlife around, and it might not be a bad idea to be a little cautious going through here. Is what you
Anaka,
sense from the force.
Okay. Anaka, like, clicks her tongue at Jai to get his attention. Like, she doesn't even say words. She just kind of makes a little noise. And just says, like, there's a lot of stuff moving around here, not necessarily human. I won't be held responsible if you get eaten by something, so be careful.
Better something with actual teeth than that freaking plant. But Jai definitely Jai just like it doesn't work this way, but Jai like cocks the flamethrower on his gauntlet and then just like pulls his blaster out.
I love that.
So like, the
That's
flamethrower
amazing.
like just fart a bit of fire out and then just like, all right, let's go.
Gets a little
Sort of-
chuckle out of Anaka.
Sort of like priming a welder or something like that, just shooting out a few flames.
Since I haven't had time
I
to
dig
install
it.
my proton torpedo gauntlet yet.
Oh right, I forgot you got one of those. It's gonna be amazing. All right, we're gonna pause there with Jai and Anaka going into the Venator, and it's at a really awkward angle, like tons of holes in the hull, and I mean it's definitely scrap, but it's mostly intact, like shape-wise. Grakus, how are you planning to get this carnivorous starving plant off of the ship and out into the planet without being eaten yourself?
Rakus acknowledges several things here. One is that this plant is very hungry, very starving, and very angry.
Mm-hmm.
Two is that this planet has apparently a lot of fresh meat out there.
Some. I wouldn't go with a lot, but
A lot
some.
of fresh meat out there. For it to, well, more than it's had.
That is
Third
very
of all,
true.
Grakus is a single Ewok. And 4, Grakus also has the Force.
Okay.
So Grakus' approach to this is coming to a talk to it, reach out to it through the Force, and let it know that first of all, this is your new home. Second of all, he's going to lie and say that there's a lot more food than there is. And third of all, say, you try to eat me, I'm one meal, and you may never get off this ship.
Okay. Let's do a use the force check first to make sure that you can clearly communicate with the plant.
Come on, dice. Just do me a favor.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, you are able to clearly communicate with this
Hell yes.
with this plant without much difficulty at all. Also, hey Nikki, let me fix the overlay here real quick, and then yeah, go ahead and roll. What is it? Persuasion with advantage, since you got such a good roll on your use the force.
Yeah, 2 shots at this. Let's go. Okay. Roll number 1. Okay, not bad, not bad. Roll number 2. Okay. Loving it.
All right, yeah. The plant is somewhat skeptical at first.
That's a nat 20. Yeah.
What was it, a nat 20? Oh, nice. Never mind. It's not skeptical at first at all. It just immediately is like, oh, yeah, no, that sounds great. It is completely on board with this getting off the ship. and going to eat this, sort of all-you-can-eat buffet
Yes.
that it thinks it's getting on the planet.
So, just the full
He-
bounty. This is a feast waiting to happen.
Yeah. At the very least, it's more than it's gotten on the ship, so it's on board. It will let you move it without trying to eat you.
All right. Then he'll
Are-
open the door.
Okay. Are you moving both of the plants or just the big one?
Just the big one.
Okay.
The small
Excellent.
one I'm still nurturing.
All right. Then yeah, the big one lets you move it. It's a little bit awkward because it's a big plant and Gracchus is an Ewok, so this thing's literally bigger than you are. But it does like pull its sort of tendrils and everything closer in on itself so that it's easier for you to carry. Are you trying to be sneaky about carrying this out into the planet, or do you care if the Scrapper Guild people see you?
What's my stealth? Oh, actually, wait, never mind. Yeah, I am trying to be sneaky. I thought my stealth was awful for a second, but apparently not. So, stealth check?
Yes, stealth check.
Come on. We've had 3 good rolls in a row. Let's just finish it out. The quartet.
Hey, there you go.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Let's see. I mean, they're not paying particularly close attention to anything, so.
This is
Yeah, they don't notice you at all. They got a nat 1 on their perception. So you are, home free. You can do whatever you want with this thing. So with the layout, there's a bunch of different ships that you could potentially put it in if you wanted to kind of hide it. There's also just a bunch of like little dirt and rock sort of dunes here and there that you could set it in. A couple of sort of stagnant looking puddles that are quite large here and there.
Gracchus, I think Gracchus is going to try to look for. Also, that whole sequence was just straight out of a comedy movie. Gracchus creeping in the background of the scene, carrying a huge plant with over-the-top stealth. Sorry, my mind. I think Gracchus looks for a high sort of animal traffic area to place this thing down. Or I guess I should hide it.
Let's do a survival roll just to see if you're able to spot high traffic animal areas.
Nice. Okay.
Given that Gracchus probably isn't really familiar with the wildlife on this planet, just to see if you're able to find that.
Come on. It's just.
Yep. You managed to spot some tracks. Yeah, looks like some sort of like womp rat type animal tracks, and there's a bunch of them that sort of go back and forth between a slightly less stagnant puddle of water. So that looks like it might have the most wildlife that would happen by.
Okay. Gracchus will carry it over there. How is it going to be like seen immediately? Like this wasn't here yesterday.
I mean, probably, but I don't think they're gonna like think it was you necessarily. Just like, there's a new plant.
Yeah, there's a new print until they try to see what's up with it. Yeah. Okay. Gracchus is just gonna ask player. Gracchus is willing to put you down here for a meal, but then Brickus is offering to hide you in one of these ships.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine with that.
All right. Place it. Doop. It's probably gonna take a second.
Yeah. Eventually, some of those will come out, and it'll get a decent meal, and you'll be able to move it. So we'll pause there. So for Ilsa, to catch up real quick, you're all on Braca, which is the big junkyard where you can get the Venator parts, and Ilsa was able to help Anaka use deception to get in. And you've landed, and the Scrappers Guild is currently taking the parts off of one of the Venators for you. So everything's going pretty well. There is an Imperial freighter that's supposed to show up later today that you kind of took the place of. So there is a bit of a clock that you're fighting. But that's sort of the situation, and just landed on the planet. Jai and Anaka are going in to explore a different Venator, and Gracchus went off with the carnivorous plant. So where would Ilsa like to be in all of this?
She is... So everybody's separated, basically.
A little bit, yeah.
I guess she would follow the plan, I guess. I don't...
Okay. Then yeah, you would have gone with the Gracchus, who's using the Force to talk to the plant and has convinced it not to eat Gracchus and I suppose Ilsa while you relocate it. And then I think you caught the part about the Womp Rat.
Yeah.
And all that. Okay, cool. So that should catch you up. In that case, we'll hop over to Anaka and Jai then. So you have entered this Venator, and it's very old sounding. Like as soon as you walk in, you can hear metal creaking and like water dripping sounds, and about what you would expect from a the ship's been here probably, 20, 30 years or more, roughly. Just sort of rusting away with tons of holes and battle damage in it, and wildlife making its nests in it and things like that, and getting rained on. And it definitely has sort of a damp feel to the air. You can smell moss and sort of like a mold or mildewy kind of scent in the air as well. And it's kind of cold inside, but not like freezing cold or anything. It's just a little cooler than it was outside. And yeah, most of the hallways are relatively intact, but there's holes in some of them, a lot of missing doors. But currently you're kind of roughly about halfway down the length of the ship. So you're just sort of walking into a corridor through a hole in the side of the ship. How would you like to proceed?
Presumably we need to head what? We need to find a working console or go to the bridge?
Yeah, that would be ideal.
So I guess we're going to head up.
Okay. Let me get perception rolls then from you and from Anaka.
Jai kicked it up a notch for this one. 13.
Okay. 13. Yep, it's a corridor, all right.
Am I able to use my force perception here as well?
You are. Yeah, you can basically just assume yes, unless I specify otherwise.
Ooh, 31.
31. Yeah, there's definitely life up ahead. You're not really sure what it is. I don't think Anaka's ever encountered this life form before. But whatever it is, it seems kind of large and maybe a little bit dangerous. And it seems to be under the ship.
Raven.
She would relay this information to Jai.
Okay.
I've also played the intro sequence of Fallen Order, Raven.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Jess is gonna go like, what? Like under us? Under us?
That does usually what under means, Jai. Yes.
Jai just like slowly turns his helmet to her and just goes like, you mean like snakes in a hangar bay? Just total deadpans and then just like keeps going.
All right. Jai, if you would like, you can roll survival to see if you might have some idea of what might live in a ship like this. A ship ruin, if you will.
Oh, 18.
18. You know that you don't know what specifically it is, but you do know that there can be some nasty things that find their way into living into old wrecks like this. And you definitely, sort of, to borrow a phrase, you've got a bad feeling about this. But you don't know specifically what it is.
Jai's just gonna keep on walking and he's just gonna like be talking to Anaka as he's going just kind of the whole time and just be like, you know, when we're done with this, I'm gonna talk to my dads and see about getting something like Beskar that can like just go right here on the end of the blaster. So the stabby and the slicey is all just part of the thing.
Bayonet. That would be cool.
Vibro bayonet? Heck yes.
Awesome.
On my list.
You do find as you walk along that your voice kind of carries and echoes down the corridors of this ship, which just sort of adds to the whole overall creepy feeling. Perhaps you think about how many clones may have died on this thing, and how it just really feels like a tomb more than anything at the moment. It's a little unnerving, but you're pretty much fine. You're able to make your way down several corridors. There are some things that are sort of shiny, maybe interesting in some of the rooms, but they're not the things you're specifically looking for. How distractible would you say that Jai and Anaka are?
12 out of 10.
Okay. How about Anaka?
How distracted they are?
How distractible?
Oh, distractible.
How easily would Anaka be distracted by something shiny?
Something shiny? No, not at all. And nobody say anything. Do not say jack shit about the lightsaber, because I wanted it.
I mean, Jedi did serve on this boat, presumably.
That's true.
Is that your lightsaber?
It's not a lightsaber. It's not that, at least. But yeah, we'll say.
I want one.
Don't think you're gonna find one here, unfortunately. But you do, as you pass one of the open doorways, you can see it's actually a medical bay. And curiously, there's some old stormtrooper armor just sort of lying around, looking like there used to be people in them.
Jai's gonna just duck in there real fast and check it out. See what's up with it.
There's like a generator hooked up to it. It's spent. It looks very old. Probably 20-ish years old. And yeah, it looks like somebody probably poked around in here since it's been, crashed. But yeah, there's just a bunch of sets of stormtrooper armor on the ground. Some of them are like shot. Some of them look like they've been like smacked around. But if you inspect any of them a little bit closer, there are skeletons in them.
Huh. Okay. I Matt sees what you're putting down now. Gotcha. Then Jai's going to grab their utility belts.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah, they work as belts. They still have some stuff in them, like any kind of like blaster packs or anything like that have sort of drained. There's no power left in them. But yeah, the other stuff's pretty much fine.
Yeah, all the utility belt stuff. He'll hand one to Anaka. Just be like, it's got a grapple on it.
Yeah.
She'll take it.
And as soon as you've sort of gotten the belts and put those on, before you're able to leave the room, you do hear like a really creepy sort of rustling sound behind one of the wall panels. It sounds like something moving in there. And we'll pause there and hop over to Grakus and Ilsa. So Grakus, your plant friend, has feasted on several of these womp rat type creatures and seems content for the moment. So you and Ilsa can move it again now if you would like. You're out of line of sight from the Scrappers Guild people, so you don't have to worry about being super sneaky. You can kind of do whatever you both would like.
Mm-hmm. All right. Time to move you again. Rakus thinks maybe put you by a doorway so you have ambush advantage.
To eat more.
No, we're putting him away now. No home and all that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a smaller cruiser that's not too far from that big puddle that has sort of like a cargo bay door that's just gone. So it's just this big hole in the ship that you could easily hop in there and you'd be able to hide the plant there.
Yes. I think we should do that. Well, Rakus thinks.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. As you head inside, you are able to put the plant where you'd like without any issues. It's well hidden from the outside. There's even some like rat tracks inside of here as well, so it'll probably have food even if it's not like people coming in to look for things. And you also hear sort of a rustling sound behind one of the wall panels in that ship as well.
So the plant will definitely eat. If there's something else.
That's true.
Hello, anybody there?
There's no reply, just more rustling and like the wall panels sort of buckle out and then back in, like something's moving in between the panel and the wall. That's a little further into the ship.
So we couldn't like go through a door to get to it.
Just have to walk towards the other end of the cargo bay that you're in. Really, it's just on the other end. You could also ignore it. It's not close enough to you to really be a threat. You just hear something deeper in the ship.
When have we ever left well enough alone?
Yeah. I was just going to say goodbye to the plant and then like start going that way.
Okay. The plant seems full and happy for the moment, so it just sort of sits there. If you would like to investigate, you can just do a straight-up perception roll if you would like, or you can roll survival if you'd like to try to figure out maybe what it is, or
Survival 7 days a week.
kind of get extra
Sundays.
information.
I'm going to do perception because Elsa has good perception, I think.
All right.
My rolls are bad, but my bonuses are so good that it makes it look like it was a decent roll.
Nice.
You make a good roll, it's going to be really good, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, just give me a second to get my sheet to pull.
All right.
All I just like these. I just like on y'all.
Oh, you're good. So the 23 for survival, I'll go ahead and start with Gracchus. Yeah, this, whatever it is, you get the impression that maybe it sounds bigger than it really is. You know, womp rats and things like that. You know, sometimes they're able to make a lot more noise than you would think. The buckling sound is a little bit concerning. Like whatever this is probably kind of strong, but it's probably not as big as it sounds. And then for Ilsa,
It's the
with a
24. I use that roll where I can roll perception twice, but I have to take the second one.
Yeah. So with the 24, yeah, you're able to see and get kind of the same conclusion that it's strong because it's moving wall plates, but the more you look into it, you're pretty sure it's not as big as you thought at first. Might be kind of like dog-sized, maybe, not like human-sized. It's still moving around in the wall. You could try to pull one of the panels out of the way, or cut one open, or just wait to see if it figures out how to get out on its own.
Can I pull a panel, or does Gracchus want to do something?
Gracchus just watches you with intrigue.
All right. So yeah, you absolutely can try to pull one of the panels if you would like to. This is just going to be a strength check, or you can try to cut one open with your lightsaber if you.
I can't use the force. Maybe the lightsaber.
Oh, I didn't think, but you could probably use the force as well. I didn't think about that.
Lightsaber right through the panel.
I don't want to hurt my knee.
I don't know.
If you want to use the lightsaber, I just need a dexterity roll from you. Just to make sure that, yeah, you're cutting where you're sure it's not, and not accidentally cutting into whatever's in there.
I'm worried now.
Unless you want to just stab a lightsaber through whatever's in there.
That's 30. That's a little for me. Well, not too low.
So 10 on dexterity.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Gosh.
for just a straight up attribute roll. That's not that bad. A 10 is sufficient. It's a really rough job of cutting this hole. You kind of have to. It's kind of like when you're trying to cut a circle with scissors and you're not doing a very good job of it, and sometimes you have to go back and recut because you didn't quite get enough of it off. It's kind of like that, but with a lightsaber. But good news is you managed to not cut whatever's back there. As soon as you get this hole cut, though, whatever it is just bursts out of this opening, and kind of lunges it at Ilsa. Could I get another dexterity roll, or acrobatics if you'd prefer?
Let me see what is higher, because I'm not too good at these types of things. So maybe I don't want to roll. Oh, both of them look equally bad. Okay, I'm gonna try Dex.
Okay.
Hopefully I did this correctly. One moment, I think I lost my thing.
No worries.
How did I lose the game?
Oh, thanks, V. I'll fix that. I don't know why web captioner's having a... It's not web captioner itself that's being an issue, it's the little window in OBS that keeps locking up. There we go. Got it refreshed. Sorry about that, anybody who was reading the captioner.
Okay, so you said Dex, right?
Yes. Dex roll or acrobatics, either one.
Did it roll it? No.
I don't think
Yeah, I
so.
guess it's got to be acrobatics then. Didn't roll dex. And whoever's controlling the dice, make this a good roll, please.
Come on, algorithm.
I didn't do it either.
Yeah, nothing came through.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Is the little window popping up behind your character sheet? Because I had to minimize my
Oh,
character sheet to hit no.
The plus minus one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to reopen my character sheet.
No worries. Just
so you know, this is so hard with a phone. So nobody use Roll20 with a phone.
I believe it with the small screen that would be a little challenging.
What did I just do?
I've heard that the app itself is, I think they've got an app that's not bad to use, but
An 8.
okay. And your
So
reflex is 23. All right, so it definitely, you were definitely not able to jump out of the way. It sort of just hits you square in the chest, and it's basically a giant dog. Just like a feral giant dog. It sort of slobbers on you. It looks scared, but it's not like necessarily overtly hostile. But it has pounced on you and is growling at you.
Okay. Do I have to roll anything not to be scared?
What's your will defense?
I have no idea. I will tell you that very shortly.
All right.
But it isn't where I can tell you that much.
You know what? I can actually just pull it up on my end because that'll probably be easier than making you have to try to do that on your phone.
5? Does that sound right?
Sorry, what'd you say? 25?
I think it's 25.
Yeah. So 25, yeah, you're probably a little intimidated, but not scared. Not enough to like affect your judgment. But you definitely sense like, oh, I'm in danger.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I have a Jedi power for it, but I don't know if I do, and I can't pull that up on here because I didn't save it on my phone.
You've got, for force powers, you've got search your feelings, sense surroundings, and telepathy is what's on your character sheet.
Can I telepathy a dog?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead and do use the force roll. And let's see if you can communicate with this dog that, you're not there to hurt it. Assuming that's true.
30.
30.
Is that
Yeah.
not 20? It is?
It is, yeah. You are able to, communicate with the dog, and you can do something else, but assuming that you want to calm it down, it'll be completely calm. It'll go. It'll step off of you, go walk to the corner, and just do a circle, and then lay down.
Yeah. So I'll calm down the killer dog.
Perfect.
Rikus is just staring, just staring at Ilsa like, oh, so he took my advice after all.
I love that. Well, on that note, we'll pause there, hop back over to Jai and Anaka. You also hear a similar sound to what Grakus and Ilsa heard. What would you like to do about the sound? Or would you like to ignore the sound?
Jai's just gonna like point at the wall and look at Ilsa and just be like, huh? Oh, Anaka, I'm sorry. I look at Anaka and just
I
go,
do what you meant.
Yeah, can I use my force perception to see what's there?
For sure.
Give that the old college try. Let's see, use the force. 23.
23.
Do I have something to re-roll my force? Let me
I'm not sure.
Goodness, I don't know where any of my stuff is now because I rearranged my desktop.
Oh no.
Oh, here it is. I know I have something that I can reroll, and I never remember what it is.
Yeah, I know you can reroll. I thought it was perception. It could be confusing it with something else, or deception maybe.
I can reroll stealth because of my my species, but I could have sworn that I had taken feet or something.
Well, I can go ahead and tell you what you get with the 23 in the meantime. With the 23, you can tell it's roughly the size of a dog that's behind like a really big dog, but something that's like that and is hungry, and it seems lost.
Okay, I think it's just stealth. Yeah, that's fine for now. Anaka turns to Jai and says that large dog, perhaps animal of some sort.
Well, we could just go. If one starts to front on us, we can deal with it. I don't really want to punch a dog today, though.
Flashback to that time that Anaka just force choked one of those. What are they? The one that
The rat
Elsa
parrots?
has? Yeah, just like force choked it to death. Yeah, no, Anaka's just gonna leave it.
All right. It keeps rattling around in the wall, but doesn't do anything else. You are able to get on your way. A little further down the corridor, there is this, what was supposed to be like a multi-floor room with like catwalks and things like that. The catwalks have collapsed, and Matt, as you might suspect, there's a giant little sort of lake below in the bottom of it, and the end that you need to get to is on the other side of this room, but there's no catwalk.
Jai's just gonna look at Anaka and just go like, "You would literally kill me if I offered to just carry you over, right?"
Is there any other immediate before I answer that question, is there any other immediate like ways that could potentially be used to cross, even if there's like still gaps in it, or any way to circumvent that situation?
Yeah, it looks like somebody had drawn like a giant power cable from one end to the other, but it had slipped off. It's sort of just dangling now. But you could probably use the force to pull it back up.
The laughter doesn't instill any confidence in me.
I'm just very aware of the source material for this particular adventure today. And
I thought it would be fun if we were in that specific editor.
I love it. There's now a part of the ship I want to go to just to have like one of these force sensitive people goes, "Oh man, someone got messed up right here."
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Let's try to use the force, I guess.
All right, go ahead and
Don't
do
fall,
use the
Naga.
force roll.
Please, the Naga, don't fall.
Yeah, don't fall.
33.
Yeah, you are able to pull that power cord up. As you do, once it gets about the sort of dangling end gets about maybe 2 or 3 feet out of the water, there is a sort of tentacle thing that just shoots up and wraps around it and starts pulling down. Would you like to continue to try to pull this out of the water, or let it have it?
Yeah, see, Anaka, much like myself, absolute petty bitch. So she's gonna try and keep hold of that.
Okay, let's do another use the force check. And while you're doing that, Jai, you're seeing this happening. Do you do anything?
Nope, Jai is leaning against a rail, mostly waiting, like, assumes that he has his answer, and is just waiting to make sure she doesn't die.
Okay.
It's a second 33.
You are winning. It's still got a hold on it, but you are able to lift it up. And what this does is it lifts this giant thing partially out of the water. I will grab the link and throw it into Discord so you can see what it is. It's, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's a Dianoga.
Dianoga.
If you've seen A New Hope, it is like a really big version of the thing that was in the trash compactor. That scene where it tries to like strangle Luke.
Yet another Star Wars Cthulhu.
Yeah. So it's that thing, and you've pulled it partially out of the water, and it's really not happy about that. So more of these tendrils just sort of shoot out and are like gripping at catwalks and pieces of wall. And it's starting to make the catwalk piece that you're standing on kind of shake, because it is quite literally pulling the room apart as it's trying to get at whatever is taking its toy.
Jai just dead to Anaka, still leaning against her rail, just goes like, you made it angry.
Shut up, Jai. What are we gonna do with this thing? Let's see. Because What?
Do you want help dealing with this thing? Because at this point, Jai's just like, nah, you have chosen this path.
This is a battle of wills. Let Anaka have her little game, I guess. Hold on.
Jai's just like hands on, like he's leaning on a railing at a mall, just watching this.
Like I said, this is the same situation as with Kieran, trying to use dirty tricks to win a sparring match. She's petty. This is not a situation that she wants to lose. But let's see. Let's not just continue to pull on it, because I feel like that could go south very quickly.
Quite literally, if south is analogous to downwards. The water looks really nasty too. You probably really don't want to take a dip in that.
Trying to figure out what force powers I have. So I don't want to cause too much falling of catwalks. So what's the intelligence score on this thing?
That is a good question. Let me go to its stats. Intelligence. It has an intelligence of 1.
Oh, I needed a 3.
It has a strength of 34 and an intelligence of 1.
Oh my god, I literally just needed a 3.
Yeah, it pretty much only understands food. And thing took my food.
Sounds like a little piss baby to me. How far is the gap, did you say, between where we are and where we need to go?
Oh, it's pretty far. Like maybe like half a football field.
What would that be in squares, do you figure? I've got very specific stats in front of me. I need you to translate for me.
I am spitballing here, but if the catwalk were there and you were to run across it, I'd say it probably would take you 2 turns to get across, so it's probably something like 24 to 30 squares across.
It'd be about 30 squares if it's half a football field.
Okay.
30 squares. And I don't have any force points either. So, for the sake of this, because everybody else does this really stupid thing that they like to do when they want to look cool, I'm going to spend a destiny point.
All right.
And I'm
You're
going
pulling a
to
Jai.
use
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to take a page out of Jai's book. And I want to use that point to use fold space. So that, you know what, fine. This little creature can have its petulant little temper tantrum. You do you, boo. You have your cable or whatever it is. We're just going to leave. So, yeah, I want to take Anaka and Jai, and I want to fold space.
Okay. I won't even make you roll for that unless you just really want to. So you and Jai can just suddenly show up on the other end. I'm assuming you let go of the power cord.
Yeah. So Anaka, yeah, she would, seeing that things are starting to like come apart, she would let it go and then kind of like put her hands on her hips and just kind of shake her head a little bit as if she's looking at a child throwing a tantrum. Yeah, and then she'll just use the force instead to get them to point B.
Okay. Yeah, you show up on the other side, the cable drops, and it just plunges back into the water, and that power cord is now like taut into the water. But the room stops shaking, and it's no longer falling apart. And you're able to be on your way. You're not too far away from the bridge at this point. So we'll pause there. Grekus and Ilsa, there's now a pacified dog and a carnivorous plant in this cargo bay. What would you like to do here, and or would you like to go join Jai and Anaka?
Move in? Like home?
I mean, that is an option, I suppose.
She needs a few more, she needs her Duce with her and a few more carnivorous animals.
Might need to do some roof repair too. There's a lot of holes in the ship.
She just let the plant grow. Okay. My imagination is running completely wild right now. So I think she's going to try to get the dog to come with her and find the others.
Okay. Yeah, do another use the force roll with advantage since you got a nat 20.
It's going to be so bad. No, I'm going to be optimistic. It will not be bad. This roll will be a good roll. If I can get my sheet to come up, use the force. Please be a good roll. 19.
19?
You said with advantage?
Yeah, go ahead and roll again, see if we get a better roll.
Okay. 20.
20? Yeah, that's good enough. It's a little skittish, but it'll follow you. Probably won't let you touch it or get too close to it, but it does follow you when you go to leave.
Okay, so I can't cuddle the killer dog, but I can walk with the killer dog.
At least not yet. It might need to get to know you a little bit better first.
Can I train the killer dog to go after my enemies yet?
It's gonna take some time.
Okay. Well, me and my killer dog will try to find the others. Hopefully Gregus is coming with us.
Okay.
Oh, Gregus is following.
All right.
Just in his head thinking, totally took my advice. Totally took my advice.
Love that. Do you take the dog to the ship first? Or do you go to try and catch up with Jai and Anaka with the dog?
Probably I'll take the dog with me.
Okay.
My new pet. Hopefully.
All right. As a heads up, it is skittish, so if it gets scared, it might run away if you take it with you. There is that chance, but it might also help you. So it's up to you.
I guess
there is a risk.
I guess I'll take it back to the ship and then do that thing I did before. All the other times I've grabbed stuff without permission before. You'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta tell you all
Feed
this.
it. Grakus thinks you should feed it.
Is there anything around for it to eat?
I mean, there's plenty of food on the ship for sure.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna give the dog some food before she
some-
runs off to find the others.
Some Nerf steaks or something. Kieran has stayed with the ship just to keep it ready in case, the inevitably, it inevitably goes sideways. And she's just like,
Floating.
yeah. Oh, there's a dog. Okay. She's sort of like, I'm just not going to ask questions anymore. She stays in the cockpit and keeps watching the sensors.
Like, yeah, a bunch of food she just gives to the dog.
I love that. Then in that case, yeah, if you're wanting to catch up with Jai and Anaka, you are able to get into the Venator. You see all the same things that they saw. They're, very old dead stormtroopers in one of the corridors. There's the room with the infirmary. There is also one of those dogs in one of the walls there. It's still making noise. So that's there, or you can just, go try to catch up.
Your dog. Rikus looks immediately at Ilsa. Rikus knows what you might be thinking.
That
But maybe
our,
not.
our new pet doesn't need a friend or does need a friend?
Rikus finds that lone wolves don't usually come together. Does that make sense?
Okay, this is my proposition. If the dog comes out to attack us, we train it. Otherwise,
Oh no. Got robot-y there for a moment. What was that last part?
otherwise, if the dog attacks us, we have to calm it down. Otherwise, we just leave it alone.
Okay.
Did that come through?
That did, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Great.
okay.
You know what? It's out of Rikus's hands.
Alright. If that's the plan, then I'm not going to make you roll. You're just able to cut a hole in the wall. Same situation. It jumps out, and it's scared, and it's growling at you. Go ahead and roll. Use the force to see if you can calm it down.
I've had too many good rolls. This is going to be terrible.
You do have an advantage from a donation if you need it.
Okay. The force.
Got rid of the man-eating plant. Now you've got the man-eating
Sir,
dog.
oh my god.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
a-
Oh
20.
my!
Yep. Same deal. This dog's like, cool. We're best friends now. So, what are we doing? We getting like hamburgers or something? It's pretty much what this dog's attitude is like.
I did not expect a nat 20 on that. So she's like a dog.
If you'd like, we can fast forward that you're able to take this dog back to the ship and then come back as well.
Yes.
Okay. So you've got two of these dogs on the ship. What was that, Matt?
Did Ilsa multi-class into Beastmaster at some point?
I guess so. I should
Right?
on it.
The space druid.
Rikus has
Oh.
watched all of this happen and just in his own head takes credit for it.
Love that. All right. So, Jai and Anaka, you are able to make it probably to the bridge by the time that Ilsa and Grakus get to the room with the tentacle monster thing. Do you calm back to let them know, like, hey, there's a giant tentacle monster in that room, just as a heads up? Or do you not think about it?
If they didn't let us know that they were following us, I would have no reason to tell them about it yet.
Yeah, did they let us know?
Very true. Rakus doesn't. He forgets he even has a column.
No,
All right.
You know what? Fair.
Elsa would. She would just say, she wouldn't mention any encounters that they had. She would just say that they're following them.
I think once we heard that, Jai would probably just look at Anaka and just go like, it's funnier if we don't say anything, right?
You can clearly see Anaka trying not to laugh. And her shoulders kind of shake a little tiny itsy bitsy bit with the force of it. She's like trying to hold it in. And she just nods and goes, yeah, that would be funnier.
What if Elsa tames the tentacle?
No, Jai will murder it.
Yeah. I don't think it can be tamed because its intelligence is so low.
Like they would expect, and she was like, "No, we're friends."
So
That's an amazing power, but no, Jai was just gonna come back to like, cool. Some of the catwalks are a little bad, so watch out.
my God.
Anaka's just like, yeah, the catwalks. Be careful.
Okay,
Almost
then.
fell off the one leaning on it.
In that case, Grakus, Ilsa, you are presented with a very large room that has a very long drop down to what looks like essentially a lake that's formed inside of this room. All the catwalks have collapsed. You need to get to the other side. There is a power cable that looks like perhaps it was once used as a bridge, but it is down into the water and it is like taut, like something is, like it is caught on something or something has pulled it into the water.
Question: do we have our jetpacks?
Yeah, Ilsa should.
It does not have a jetpack.
I don't
Yeah.
think you ever got around to fixing it up for Grakus yet. Yeah.
Elsa offered to carry Grakus on a jetpack.
This is not suspicious at all. Huge lake in the middle of a ship.
Yeah, we could just fly over it.
Rakus looks down into the water. Just like over
You
the
don't
edge.
flip.
It's pretty murky.
Don't
It's
swim.
it's really dirty water. There's a couple of like crates that are floating in it that look like they've been in there for years.
Yeah, I'm sure we could find some place cleaner to swim.
I feel like, I feel like Grakus' survival instincts are kind of just sending goosebumps up his spine.
Hey, don't both of you have the force?
Yeah.
Hey man, I was born on Endor, so
Oh, that's everything on the planet tries to kill you. It's basically Space Australia.
don't need the force to know that shit's fucked.
What, is that the raid cry for tonight?
I
Grace,
think so. Don't need the force to know shit's fucked.
Grakus accepts Ilsa's offer to fly him over.
Okay, Elsa's just try to jetpack them over.
All right, might censor it a bit depending on who we're rating, but yeah, I think that's a good one. All right, so
for a second.
Oh, it's fine here. I just, depending on what channel we're going into. Could I get a pilot check from Ilsa, just because you are carrying someone else with your jetpack?
I'm worried because I have so many good rolls tonight.
It's always fun to see if that 5% chance that you plummet into the water happens.
Okay, pilot. Please be a good roll. Everything's good.
It's just a little flight.
14.
14. Now, you do have an advantage, just as a reminder. No
Okay,
reason that I'm mentioning this. Just random reminder that you have an advantage.
And
Why are we collectively such a mess?
28.
I don't know.
Is that perfect?
That is plenty.
No, it's not. It's not a nat. Okay, but still pretty high.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said, is that good? Yeah, not a nat 20, but that is plenty. You are able to pick up Graykus and fly across with 0 incident. Um, there's not even a ripple in the water. So you get across and you're able to catch up with Jai and Anaka. You're all on the bridge of this ship. Is there anything
Well, that's
on the
no
bridge?
fun.
Oh, no.
Okay, guys like looking at the door, just like, eh?
They're just like waiting to see if either of them got eaten.
Also just waves happily.
I just looks at Naka and like kicks a piece of rubble across the bridge, and then just like goes and finds a terminal.
Her expression visibly sours. She's like, "Damn, both of them came back alive. That's no fun."
They're not even wet. I don't what even
Do
doing
we,
here.
do we just see these looks?
Yeah.
Also she goes, I made a new friend.
Graykus looks so suspicious.
And Ilsa says,
By the catwalk.
Hey,
Yeah.
not for nothing. Maybe one of y'all should. Somebody could like knock out one of these windows, and we could just go out on the top of the ship.
Why?
Yeah, most of the windows are busted anyways.
We
Oh,
could walk
perfect.
across. We could just go across the that lake again.
Jai pointedly does not look at Anaka and just goes, "No."
You sure? It'd be nice to take a swim, don't you think?
Jai just looks right at Greg and just goes, "Honestly, I'd give you pretty good odds. You could
Yeah.
probably take it." And I just, like,
Alright.
goes to the computer.
Guy, let's go for a swim.
Nope.
Oh my god. There is no power to the console. Unlike the previous group of adventurers that maybe explored this ship before, it's been a lot of years since then. So there's no power, but you do have those stormtrooper utility belts, which have they do have like some sort of power pack on them, and they're not as drained as the blaster packs are. So you could probably cobble them together and get enough power to run this computer.
Yeah, I'm going to do that then. Did I do that, GM? Is that mechanics?
Yes, it would be.
Okay, this would be a really great time to get a good roll. Come on.
Ordinarily, I'd let you sort that out yourself, but we're almost out of time, so I figured I'd throw that one to you.
23.
Plenty, yeah. You are able to piece that together, plug it in, and it's just enough power to run the console for a little while. Long enough for you to complete what you're
Yeah,
trying to
I'd
do.
like shove a data spike in it and just like, all information please starting with blueprints. And I want everything I can get starting with blueprints until the power dies.
Okay, yeah, you'll be able to get everything. There's enough power for that. But it is going to take a little bit of time. Is there anything that you want to do during the few minutes that it's going to take for this to finish?
Is there anything else there to pick up?
Not really.
Interest? Okay.
It's
Ooh.
not without like tearing things apart.
Actually, what Jai does, I do want to do something, and I know this will eat into some of the power. It's powering the terminal. Can I access sensors from here?
You can, but there is a 50% chance that it will deplete the power faster
So,
than
Yeah,
for you to be able to get everything.
I want to make sure I've gotten the blueprints first. Once I have those and more stuff is like downloading, then I'm going to just like think about stuff for a second and then try to pull up the sensors. I want us to know if this other freighter shows up.
Oh, I will say this because Jai would know this. Like, Kieran is in your ship doing exactly that, like looking for other ships coming in. So you can just call her and ask her.
Oh, then I'll just do that.
Okay.
So it's just like, so I'm just letting it download, just go like, "Hey, Kieran, how's things?"
Barky at the moment.
What?
Yeah, I'll explain that when you get back. But don't worry about it, I guess. Or talk to Ilse about it. I don't know. I'm just not going to ask questions. But nothing's on the sensors.
Jai does the slow Mando helmet turn towards Ilse and just goes like, "We got the death thing off of the ship, though. That was half the point."
Yeah, no, the plant's gone. But yeah, sensors are clear so far.
Cool. How's the loading of the toys coming?
Yeah, it looks like they're one gun away from being finished. They've got most everything loaded, and looks like they're taking off the last gun now.
We've got those engines warmed up, right?
I never turned them off.
Good. This whole trip has just felt a little too easy, and he definitely does not look at Anaka when he says that.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because as soon as Jai gets that out of his mouth, there's a beeping sound on the other end.
Hey, Kieran, what's that?
Yeah, that's the proximity alarm. There's another ship coming. I think that's a good spot to end the session. But I will note that you do get everything that you wanted from the ship computers, so you are able to just grab that right at that moment.
Goody.
There's an incoming ship. That was a lot of fun. Before we go on a raid, I'm going to let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them, and anything they'd like to share or plug, and then we will go on our raid. So we'll go reverse order from how we started. So we'll start with Par. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you'd like to share or plug?
Favorite part? I think get more of the best friendship between Jai and Anaka. They were just in sync this whole episode. Feels like it's just a small joy. You can find me hopefully next week, same bat time, same bat channel here for this lovely show again with this lovely group of people. You also find me on Twitter at Par Professional and on Twitch at Mr. Par. That's it for me.
All right. Matt, same questions.
Oh boy, I honestly, my favorite bit was Jai just kind of like the Jai and Anaka duo going on there with Jai just kind of like, no, go ahead, do your thing, go ahead, yeah, you're doing great. And just watching that whole situation dissolve, that was wonderful. The disaster duos in this show, all of the disaster duos, the disaster crew were very good. You can find me here again on the show on Thursdays. And you can find me on my Twitch channel, Fifth Draw Live, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Not tomorrow. I'm traveling currently. But I'll be back again on Monday. And I have a podcast called Hard Reboot, where me and two friends take a public domain property and give it a fresh coat of paint. The new episode should be dropping soon, whenever I edit it. 2020 continues to be a year. And oh yeah, I'm launching a custom lightsaber store tomorrow. Watch my Twitter.
Awesome. So excited for that. All right. Nikki, favorite part, where folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I kind of like also getting those 20s for those dog rolls, which I wasn't expecting.
That was pretty great.
Yeah, she doesn't have a disaster duo right now, but it's just she's a disaster.
That's pretty great.
I don't plug anything because I'm cursed. If I plug something, it won't happen.
Hopefully the whole like power and internet thing stabilizes for you for a while. So I know that's super frustrating. All
It
right.
is. I'm just calling it first.
I don't blame you. That's rough. Vanessa, same questions.
I'm sorry. Since when do you refer to me as Vanessa?
I like to switch it up every once in a while, just keep you on your toes. But same questions, V.
I say that because the joke is it's like your mom using your middle name when you get used to nicknames so long. So every time somebody uses my full name, I'm like, well, I did something bad.
Honestly, that's half the fun of just saying it, is just knowing that I'll get that reaction.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, no, as for me, well, I always love when Jai and Anaka do what they do. I just have this picture in my head of like a really horrible buddy cop duo, where instead of like good cop, bad cop, it's snarky cop, cinnamon roll cop. And they just don't do anything. They just kind of snark and poke fun at people. But yeah, so the whole, well, if you're going to be a petulant child, then I'm just going to magic us to the other side. Destiny point well spent. So at least I got to do something cool with it. But yeah, the dogs were funny. Ilsa is quickly becoming one of my favorites. She's just so full of ideas all the time. And yeah, Grakus talking to the plant and just being like, hey, dude, listen, don't eat me. Don't, if you eat me, that's it. There's no other meals for you here. So that was great too. But as for where you can find me next, it won't be this Saturday. Hopefully the season finale of Exodus next week. It was my fault. We had to miss it yesterday. Yeah, it was my fault. I had to miss out yesterday. I had some tests that I had to take. So yeah, hopefully we'll be back with that next week. Fingers crossed. But yeah,
you're totally fine on that. But yeah, that'll be good. All right, awesome. And then for me, my favorite part, I enjoyed the whole thing, watching you all like problem solve, especially like the stuff in the beginning where it's like, all right, how are we going to get past this very common, normal procedure of them asking our business? And just the elaborate schemes you always come up with in those situations is enjoyable.
What happened there, just so I know?
Oh, that's you ended up faking being an Imperial freighter coming through the parts. Yeah. It took a little bit to get there. There was a lot of plans like A through F that happened or that were discussed first before you landed on that one. That's always fun, and I really enjoy watching Matt's expressions, especially when I throw in little Easter eggs like the Bad Batch references tonight. It's just really fun to see. And yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing. The dogs as well, and Anaka's tug of war with the tentacle monster was just, it's all fantastic. I'm excited to see how you all get out of the situation next session. Because it could go really, really well or it could go really bad. I'm excited to see which one it is. Where you can find me next. Let's see, today is Thursday. There's no stream tomorrow because I have a birthday thing. And then Saturday from noon to about 5 or 6 Mountain Time, we're going to do a birthday stream, which is just going to be, it's going to be me and anybody that feels like any mutuals or folks in the community on Blackfeather that feel like hopping in. We're going to chat about tabletop RPGs, and we're going to design a one-page RPG and play it. So any mutuals like on Twitter or in Discord, or folks that are in the Blackfeather community on Discord, feel free to shoot me a message if you would like to join in on that. It's just going to be one big Zoom call. I've set up the overlay to where it's just like the Zoom window, so we don't have to worry about windows or little name tags or anything like that. So be really chill. And yeah, we're gonna hang out, and it's gonna be fun. So that's where you can find me next. And other things to share or plug are our sponsors, which are in chat. Fundamental RPG. It's the D20 system that I designed. It's not tied to any genre, so you can run everything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. It is really intuitive. It's very easy to pick up and just run with whatever story you want to tell. You can pick up your physical copies on Amazon if you want the book itself. It looks like this. It's not super thick, so it's pretty easy to get through it in one sitting and kind of learn how to play. That was intentional so that you can start playing games really quickly. If you like digital copies instead, so if you prefer the PDFs, you can have it on your tablet or your phone or whatever, you can pick that version up at coffee.com/raven, like it's spelled at the bottom of the screen. And until the end of the month, it's on sale for half off for the PDF. So you can pick that version up for less than $10. So it's a really good time to go ahead and pick up a copy of that. Also at coffee.com/raven, you can find Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life, accessories and drinkware and apparel and really cool stuff like that with a tabletop theme. Go check that out. You'll find something that you like, I'm pretty sure. And then Die Hard Dice, which are my favorite metal and polymer dice sets. They also sell tons of really cool accessories and dice adjacent stuff. You can find all that at dieharddice.com. If you use the code BLACKFEATHER, all one word with a capital B, you can get 10% off your entire order. And then I highly recommend checking out the Fey Bloom set specifically. It's one that I've got my eye on, and there's a link directly to that in chat as well. And then if you want to catch up on this show or others on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. And then finally, go check out the Animus Lore and Roleplay server on Discord if you enjoy Animus Absentus, the show that we usually do every Saturday night. That entire galaxy, I have finally sat down and wrote out, not all of it, I'm still working on adding more in, but I wrote out most of the lore for the galaxy. So there's information on locations and characters and factions and what's going on in the galaxy and stuff. It's really cool. That's half of the server. The other half is a roleplay server, because eventually I want to make all of this into a tabletop book, but in the meantime, I want folks to be able to play around in sort of that sci-fi sandbox, if you will. So you can actually go in there, make a character, and roleplay, and have a bunch of fun. There's a big roleplay event that's happening right now where some wild stuff is happening in the Sol system, which is our own solar system. So go check that out if you enjoy role-playing. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you there. I think that's everything from me. So we're going to go on a raid. We're going to raid Stella Luna, who's just fantastic. Go give them a follow if you're not doing so already, and say hi. And then our raid cry is, I don't need the Force to know stuff's effed. Feel free to copy that right at the chat. And I will see you all on Saturday. Bye, everybody.